My name is Jeremy Tumlin. I'm here to talk to you about payday loans, why they cause a cycle of debt, and why they are ultimately a bad idea to take one out. A payday loan is a short-term loan that one can apply for. Typical loan times tend to be 14 days, 30 days, and 90 days. You have to present pay stubs to show income. Other than that, you can get one. They carry high rates of interest of about 15 to 20% and an annual percentage rate of about 400 to 1,000%. You must repay this full amount by the term, which includes interest on top of what you borrowed. Here's an example. If I took out a 14-day loan to help with bills until my next paycheck, when I get that paycheck, my payment is now due, including the interest and the amount. Let's take a look at slide 3, and we're going to talk about who lenders target. Studies show that payday lenders prey on low-income populations. Researchers found that they target minorities. 12% of African Americans have used payday loans. Also, 6% of Hispanics have used payday loans. They also target disabled people. Storefronts have been found near subsidized housing. And they also target military members. Military members have been found double the rate of normal civilians to take out a payday loan. Now we're going to take a look at slide 4. Right here you should see a graph, and it says that researchers have found that payday loans affected the credit of consumers. Looking at the graph in 2003, everyone's credit dropped to around 500 for whatever reason. However, those who took out a payday loan were impacted greatly. Just give me a sec. Applicants took a major hit to their credit score. Over the course of 4 years, the general public was able to increase their credit significantly, while payday loan applicants was very slow to increase. General public credit score rose to 580, but the payday loan applicants only rose to about 530, where they stayed. We're going to move on to slide 5 now. 80% of consumers rolled over on their due dates, adding more interest and debt. And basically what this means is that when someone cannot pay on their due date, another interest charge is tacked on. So they have to pay just all of this interest piling up on top of the amount that they took out. Payday loans can take up to 36% of applicants' check. However, they show that they can only afford about 5% of that. Therefore, it's almost impossible for them to pay it off. When consumers cannot keep up with payment, they usually take out another payday loan to cover that, and continuing the cycle of debt doing so. The cycle is to take out more loans and that keep accruing interest on top of each other until it's just unmanageable. And as you can imagine, once in this cycle, it's pretty hard to get out. Attorneys say that there are only 2 ways out of the cycle. The first one we're going to see here is filing for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. You can get those loans written off because payday loans are unsecured debt. The second is to lose or sell everything you own to pay off the loan. An example here is Elliott Clark. I'm going to read this. In the case of Elliott Clark, a man took out a couple payday loans to help cover bills while his wife fell ill and could no longer work. After 5 years of almost paying $100 a month for the loans, he accrued $50,000 in interest, and the couple was forced to sell their home. Attorneys suggest not taking out more loans to cover the costs, and that will kind of aid in not falling into that cycle like Elliott. We're going to take a look at slide 6 now. Payday loans were so out of control that the state and the federal government stepped in and enforced strict regulations. In 2006, 13 to 18 states kept APR to about 36%, thus lessening the amount of the interest that someone has to pay. Now, if you remember back to the second slide, I believe it was about, I think it was 400% to 1,000%, and now they dropped it down to 36%. By 2012, 17 states banned payday loans. Now lenders can no longer charge applicants' accounts after 2 failed attempts. Prior to this, lenders could charge a person's account multiple times, whether they had the funds or not. When the funds were not in their account, the applicants received an overdraft fee and other fees from their banks. The most significant change will come in 2020, next year. That is when lenders must verify the applicant's income and approve the loan that they can afford while maintaining expenses and bills. So just for a quick recap, payday loans are short-term loans with very high interest rates. They often trap people in the cycle of debt. And the only way to not fall victim of the cycle is to not take out a payday loan. However, if you do, don't take out more loans to cover those payments like Elliot did. Otherwise, the only other way out is bankruptcy or losing everything. In other words, don't fall into the trap that are payday loans. Thank you very much. This has been Payday Loans.